Good afternoon, everyone. So it's an immense pleasure to welcome you all for today's webinar session on the topic Rise with SAP, Insights and Strategies. So this is Mahesh. I'm the host for today's webinar by Increasol Software Services Private Limited. So I will be assisting you in case you find any difficulties during the session. And also you can keep posting your queries in the chat, which we will be discussing in the last 15 minutes of Q&A session. And we have as a speaker today, Mr. Nalini Kumar, the Director and the CTO of Increasol Software Services. So in this today's session, we will be discussing about RISE with SAP journey options and intelligent tools available for business benefits, and the private cloud versus public cloud components, and also the three main reasons why you need to choose RISE with SAP. So now I hand over the mic to Mr. Nalini Kumar to take this session forward. So Mr. Nalini, over to you.
Yeah, thank you, Mahesh. Good afternoon, everyone. Hope all of you are doing good. So, hope you are able to see my screen. I'm on the title screen of the presentation, Rise with SAP. If you have any difficulties in viewing the screen, please drop a message in the chat box so that our admin team will assist you if there are any difficulties. So, by this time, already most of you are come across a word called Rise with SAP since last 6 months to 1 year. This is a buzzword in the SAP ecosystem. So, and that also it's like mainly for who are targeting or who are planning to go with the transformation journey of S/4HANA. So I thought that I would like to take one session on this one because most of our customers are reaching me in terms of their queries or the confusion in terms of Rise with SAP. So this is the first webinar in this Rise with SAP series. So we have a 4 to 5 webinars in this on this topic particularly. So we divide this into the first introduction topic, and second one is more of licensing aspects and the deep diving into the licensing aspects of Rise with SAP. And the next after that, the webinar is going to be more on the infrastructure planning and sizing and how you can plan or optimize your infrastructure in Rise with SAP considering it's a cloud environment. And the fourth webinar in this series is going to be on the indirect access license or the integration with your cloud systems or the homegrown applications which are deployed on-prem or the cloud. So that is also going to play a crucial role. And after that, we planned some technical webinars as well that's more related to BTP and business process intelligence aspects. Okay, so let me quickly get into the agenda of the today's webinar. So we have divided today's webinar into the 3 topics mainly. One, I would like to make you familiar with the Rise with SAP introduction, like what is Rise with SAP, why Rise with SAP, and why SAP came up with this type of option. Okay, and what are the different deployment options available in Rise with SAP? It's like there are 2 or 3 different options available based on our business scenario or the business need. We can opt one of them. And comparison, like comparison between each of these options, like apple to apple comparison or side by side comparison between these deployment options, and what are the key differences that are going to be discussed as part of this. And at the end, last 15 minutes we are reserving for the Q&A session. Okay, in the Q&A session we will discuss more on your queries. Okay, so I focus this webinar more on the introducing Rise with SAP to you and making you aware that what are the key benefits or the advantages that SAP is projecting or that customers can get through this Rise with SAP journey. Okay, so Rise with SAP is something like a bundled solution. I can say it's not something like a big tool or a software. It's more like a bundled solution of bundled services of multiple services bundled into one package that is called Rise with SAP. For example, one of the services in this one is like your SAP S/4HANA. So that's SAP S/4HANA cloud solution will be part of the main service in this particular bundle, and it is bundled with SAP Business Network. There is nothing but your Ariba or the asset management network or the logistic network options are there. Different solutions are there from SAP cloud-based solutions, HANA cloud-based solutions. They are also be part of this bundle. So it's like it's not a fully open bundle, but there are some limitations. We'll come to know what are the limitations in that. And the business technology platform, that is nothing but a set of utilities or the tools from SAP which you can use to build your own applications, or you can buy the applications that are developed with the partners in the marketplace, like add-ons or some sort of tools developed using this BTP platform. So you will get some credits as part of BTP credits as part of this bundle, which you can utilize to get some new innovations that develop or buy some new innovations available in the ready-to-use manner in the marketplace. And the fourth one in this bundle is a business process intelligence. This is one of the top highlight of this RISE with SAP. Okay, that is nothing but it's like most of the customers I came across, they don't have a proper process documented in terms of their business scenarios or the business process, like OT, order to cash process, or the procure to pay process, or the manufacturing process, or the finance process. They're not well documented. Even they have a lot of human dependency. Even there is no standardization in the processes. So all those will be evaluated through this particular Signavio tool or the business process analysis tool or the Discover tool. That will help you to understand how closely you are with the industry standards, or how far away from the industry standards, how well you can adapt to the industry standards to get best out of SAP or best out of the technology. So that will be the process redefining or the process reengineering, or the can be done utilizing this tool on time to time basis. And there are some other additional tools like embedded tools like alert lifecycle management and learning hub and different tools SAP is providing to complement the usage of SAP system, SAP S/4HANA system for the transformation journey. So all these 5 services are bundled into one pack that is called RISE with SAP. Okay, so this is going to help you to transform your business into the modern technology stack of SAP as a bundled solution. Okay, so along with this, okay, so this is part of the software packs we have discussed so far. Okay, so I'll move on with the next step. What all covered as part of the RISE with SAP? What are really included basically? Okay, so it's like one, your SAP S/4HANA cloud. Cloud means that's a ready-to-use service. As a service, SAP is selling it's the ERP. Okay, so there are multiple options available. It's a public cloud or a private cloud options are available. So one, you will get this solution, and also we discussed about different services and tools like your readiness check or the custom code migration apps or the learning hub or the configuration cockpit. Different options are available with the tools and services which you can utilize to utilize them as part of your migration or the transformation journey. And business process intelligence, already we discussed about it. And BTP credits, here it is highlighting what is the value of the BTP credits you are going to get as part of it. Okay, so for the public cloud customers, it is coming close to 2000 annual credits they are going to give it, or the 1% of annual net public cloud value. So whatever the value that you are going to pay into SAP as part of the contract. Okay, so or for the private cloud, it's going to be 4000 annual credits minimum, and maximum up to 16,000 annual credits it can go. These credits you can utilize for different developing your own BTP based solutions, like developing your own applications or the interfaces or automations using RPA tools, or you can use Fiori or the UI developments using build tools or the Fiori interface, Fiori automated designing tools, or the low-code no-code platform is available as part of this BTP platform. You can use them to develop some of the low-code no-code data capturing applications, okay, from the shop floor or from the field or the field representatives, etc. And SAP Business Network Starter Pack, this is more related to your collaboration aspects. That is more like you collaborate with your partners like suppliers. There's Ariba Network that is mainly for the auction or the bidding process, or the RFQ management process can be handled from here up to 2000 documents. Or the Asset Intelligence Network that is for managing your assets in terms of maintenance, or the geolocation mapping, etc. will be handled through the Asset Intelligence Network. And Logistics Business Network is to collaborate with your suppliers and the transporters. Okay, so these are all bundled into one pack that is called RISE with SAP. And there are some additional services also available, but they are the additional line at cost items. Based on the need, you can it's more like you can add those services as well with the additional cost along with this bundle of RISE with SAP. For example, disaster recovery setup, or the HA setup, or the HA infrastructure, all those are the additional line items not bundled within this package. So why you need to go for this RISE with SAP? Okay, so there are mainly 3 reasons that are motivating or the pushing the customers towards RISE with SAP. Okay, so one, it's like technology innovation using S/4HANA. So you want to move from ECC to S/4HANA and get best out of latest technology stack of SAP. Okay, so that's the one transformation you need to take it. And current trend is completely moving towards the cloud compared to the on-premise data centers. Okay, So many customers are willing to move their on-premise data center dependencies to the cloud, and with the easy to maintain as well as the scalability options point of view. Okay, cloud economics point of view. So the move to cloud and the simplify consumption model, this is more related to how easy to manage your infrastructure, how easy to manage your IT landscape. Okay, so it's that's the key motive, so that how you can minimize your downtimes. So all those aspects are covered as part of this one. By combining all these three motives of the customers, the RISE with SAP bundle is created. Okay, so it is nothing but your S4 HANA product package is going to be taken care by SAP. Okay, you are going to get all the best out of S4 HANA and almost in the every release manner. And cloud, it's like this RISE with SAP operates only on the cloud. Okay, so that's like there are multiple clouds available, like AWS, Azure, or the Google Cloud, or Ali Cloud. Okay, so even recently Cloud4C also I think tied up with the RISE with SAP. Okay, so the another advantage is like if everything is in front, everything is going to be maintained by one partner. So you are going to get the easiest way to manage your infrastructure. Like you will focus on your core skills than a non-core skills, like your infra team or the OS team or the other administrative team. All can become redundant, or you can no need to depend on those it's like niche skills. Okay, so that will be taken care with a single partner. And also there is no need of multiple contracts. That's another important thing of this particular RISE with SAP concept. Like for example, infrastructure contracts, or the power supply contracts, or the backup power contracts. It's like you maintain with different vendors for the maintenance or the AMCs with these different vendors. Okay, so all those will become as a single contract with a single vendor. Okay, so that's easier to govern. So the governance will become much easier, as well as maintenance will become much easier. And also considering the cloud infrastructure managed by the partner like SAP. Okay, so the assurance of the stability of the system is definitely going to be very good, and we can assume that the downtime is almost minimal, because SAP is giving the very good SLA for this one downtime assurance point of view. So let's just check what are the roadblocks we can overcome if we go with the RISE with SAP. There are the few things, okay, that definitely value adds if we look at the RISE with SAP. Okay, so the transformations requiring high upfront cost is a one big roadblock. Suppose if you want to enable any transformation or any new innovation in your current landscape, might be in an on-prem data center or on ECC or the whatever the landscape you are using. The problem with that one is like you need to have a lot of upfront cost. Either it can be an infrastructure cost, it is a capex item, or it can be a big investment in terms of implementation partner or the integration partner, etc. So there is a high cost involved for each transformation that can be minimized or almost controllable cost we can get as part of RISE with SAP, because it will be a OPEX model. So you don't upfront invest everything on that. You will go with the monthly expenditure model. Okay, so also there is a big challenge is like getting it's like preparing a case, it's like preparing a case and convincing ROI or the value with your management. Okay, so that also can be optimized through RISE with SAP, because you have the process harmonization or the process intelligence tools, which can highlight where exactly you are lacking and how much ROI you can expect, or how much value add you are going to get if you implement that particular new process or adopt the industry best practice, or by enabling specific innovation. So that would definitely help you to quickly create a case and present your management and get the approvals. And skilled experts and hard to secure, that's more like in case of on-premise, you need to have maintain many technology skill set people with you. And considering the current market trend, it would be hard to retain them, and it's not that easy to manage. And you need to depend on multiple partners for that. So that's another bottleneck you can overcome easily. And transformation path not clear. Okay, so here if you in case of your on-prem or the current scenarios, so how you want to reach your goal or how the transformation path should be and all this, there's no clarity on that. But whereas in case of RISE with SAP, there are a lot of roadmap viewers are available from SAP side. If you just go through it, it will highlight you what exactly the roadmap you should adopt to get this transformation journey or the particular activation of a particular innovation in as part of your RISE with SAP journey. So it's more of a crystal clear roadmaps are available. You can adopt those best practices, the best templates that SAP has provided, and easy to move further. And another important thing is like too many hands to shake. This is a big problem, I can say. It's like you need to depend on too many people or the too many suppliers or the too many partners, and to make the whole show running. Whereas with RISE with SAP, the advantage is like only one partner will be is going to be answerable for all these all the show running aspects. That is SAP. And second is your application maintenance partner or your support partner. Only two partners will be involved in the whole journey. Otherwise, in the current manner, it can be like 5 to 6 partners you might be managing to handle each of the area. And also the SLAs vary from partner to partner. There is no single SLA, so that is also another challenge. And most of the times, the customer plays the role of orchestrator. Like you become a middle person to manage with your partners. Like you become a handshaking party with each partner to partner communications or all that stuff, instead of doing your core business or focusing more on your prime line activities. So that can be eliminated considering the number of partners are eliminated as part of this. And also long time to value period. It's like any innovation in the current system, if you want to enable, it's going to be a 3 to 6 months project, or you need to spend a lot of money upfront, and it's going to realize in a longer period. It may take an year or 2 years to get the value out of it. Whereas with RISE with SAP, considering the less value we are spending at the beginning, and also most of the innovations are having the ready to use manner, even though there is a customization requirements, but most of the things can be readily usable manner. And you can plan the progressive additions to that particular innovation by starting with as a turnkey solution. So you can see a very shorter time to value period also. TTV also very, very short in case of RISE with SAP, considering the lot of integrations are in place by default. So another thing is like, it's more like what are the key values that we are going to get with RISE with SAP. Okay. So if you look at it, there are 3 values. One is more like how you can increase your top line, bottom line, or the green line. Okay, definitely the new features are the new industry-based solutions that are available as part of RISE with SAP. Okay, so just by enabling them or activating them, you can start getting the new technology options available to leverage your business scenarios for cross-sell or the upsell activities. That would definitely help you to increase the revenue streams. That will help you to increase the top line. At the same time, the process optimizations or the lot of usability aspect got improved in S/4HANA. That would help you to increase the productivity or the operational efficiency of your organizations. So definitely that will impact your bottom line as well. And also the S/4HANA has more focus on sustainability aspects as well, so that your green line will also be respected as part of this particular RISE with SAP journey. And the important thing is like the keep improving. Okay, so there's no need to stop it. It's not a one-time job. Okay, so once we start set up our SAP, it's not the end. So we need to keep on improving it so that you will get best out of SAP. So for that purpose, so far it's not happening well with the customers, because it's like, for example, ECC or your on-prem systems. If you look at it, your partner, based on the partner knowledge or the subject expertise, you used to get the outcome. That's all. So after that, if anything happens, either your team or your partner team to do research, or it's more of a passive approach, I can say, than an active improvement approach. So it's more like a business comes up and saying that, oh, hey, I need this, or I need this. Then only we used to look at that for improvement or the change. But otherwise, we used to continue the same system or the same manner. But there is no guarantee that the system is at its best. Okay, or we are using the system or the process or the business process in the best manner, or there might be many leakages in terms of operational efficiency as well. So considering the business process intelligence tool Signavio SAP has given, that would definitely help us. We can keep run the tool on our data, because there will be transactions getting booked in your system. The tool keep analyze the data, and it will come up with its insights, and it will suggest what's the industry best practices going on and how we are using our system, what is the deviation, what improvements can be planned in that area. So that would definitely help us to implement or improve those areas and get the best efficiency from the system as well as from operations point of view. So it's the continuous improvement process using business process exploration or the intelligence tools and automation tools that would help us to keep improving. And secure your success. That's more like the stability of your infrastructure, scalability of your infrastructure. That's the most important thing. More the stable or the scalable infrastructure, the better the business will rely and run smoothly. Okay, so considering the partner is SAP, and they are taking care of the show running in terms of the uptime assurance from SAP, and the application stability is going to be taken care by them. So there is no need to it's like worry much in terms of the business continuity or the in terms of the stability of your applications. Okay, so that would help you to run the business smoothly. And also second thing is like considering the cloud infrastructure, there is a good chance that based on the business needs you can scale in no time. There is no need to wait. It's like, for example, in case of hardware procurement, first you need to raise an order to the hardware vendor, and then the hardware supply will come, then the installation will happen. It's a long process. It's used to take long time to increase any of your current hardware aspects in the on-prem scenario. Whereas coming to the cloud, the advantage is like just once you get the financial approvals from your organization or the management, in no time you can scale your infrastructure, probably in a day or in hours also you can do it. It's just a matter of approval. Okay, so that type of flexibility you will get it, so that business also no need to wait long to get the scalable requirements of your infrastructure or the resources. So that's another advantage you can take from here. And also the risk and security aspects that will be taken care here. So SAP is giving the SLA for that. Also security aspects, also security patches will be applied time to time based on the security measures or the threats identified time to time in the global market. So based on that, SAP is going to take care of the whole security framework of your landscape. So that also helps you to protect your data as well as protect your infrastructure or the soft resources. Would help you to your business to run smoothly. Okay, so these points we already discussed. Just I will spend a minute or so on this particular slide. Okay, so what are the key benefits? Okay, so it's more like what are the key components in this particular solution, RISE with SAP solution. It's more like one, you are getting a modern ERP like S/4HANA Cloud, and cloud deployment model, the everything is deployed in the cloud, so it's a highly scalable and all. As a service delivery, so it's an OPEX model than a CAPEX model, and a lot of tools and services are available. You can just enable them and start use them in no time for your further innovations or the developments. So combining all these things, they are going to help you in various factors, like it can help you in increasing revenue, okay, or optimizing your processes so that your operational costs can be optimized, and lower IT and TCO, considering your infrastructure, everything is in the proper scalable manner and also with the optimal manner. So you can optimize your total cost of TCO also. And improve agility and time to market, considering most of the solutions or the innovations are available from the marketplace, are ready to use with the S/4HANA Cloud. So the go-to-market or time to market is very short compared to your other solutions. No much integrations are required to develop, or no much customizations are need to be done. So just if you want to activate some feature today, just go and activate it and experiment it, feel it. If it is looking fine for you, then just move on with the business or hand over to business to start using it. Okay, so there is no big scenario of you buy the license and do it and do that like that. It's nothing like that. You just activate and start using. If it's good. Otherwise, leave it, and you can move on with the next solution or the next innovation available for the similar scenario, either from the marketplace or from the SAP, direct from SAP. Okay, so considering the shorter timelines, and also obviously the cost of implementation and everything will also reduce, and your operational cost also will reduce. So coming to the journey, okay, so what are the options available if you want to go to S/4HANA, so RISE with HANA or RISE with SAP? So there are two categories of customers we can consider. One can be your non-SAP customers, like they are not using any SAP ERP, they might be using Tally, Focus, or Mark, or some other ERPs that might be using. For them, the option to go to RISE with SAP is using greenfield implementation, that is as well as like a net new implementation, and just implement it and subscribe, implement, and load the data, load the masters and the balances, and start using it. That's all. Whereas coming to the customers who are already on the ECC or some other SAP solutions like S/4HANA or the S/4 Simple Finance, etc., for them, it is going to be two options available. One, they can go with the S/4HANA migration with the brownfield approach, like they carry the whole data, or they can carry the whole, it's like whole data configuration programs, everything will carry. It's more like a lift and shift system. Or they can either go with the greenfield also, they can leave the old system here only. They can start from zero without the clean slate approach. They can start from there, and they can implement their SAP freshly with the industry best practices and solutions available, and load the balances and masters from the old system, and they can start off. Or if they're already on SAP, they can go with the they can first move to S4HANA Cloud or the RISE with SAP, then they can plan for the upgrade. It's more like upgrade and move to S4HANA Cloud would be an ideal approach. Okay, that's how the transition can happen. Whereas another option also available, if you're not sure to go for S4HANA in the immediate manner, what you can do is convert your ECC as a RISE with SAP ECC cloud. So that means you are just lifting your ECC system and moving to the RISE with SAP. Okay, and you continue using your ECC there, and when the budgets and time permits, you can go for S4HANA. That's another path also available. So these are some of the key options available to migrate from your current landscape to the RISE with SAP landscape. So let's go with RISE with SAP deployment options. Okay, so this is a bit confusing topic. Many customers are confused in this area. So that's why I put a separate section for this. I thought of emphasizing more on this one. Okay, so RISE with is like S4HANA. First of all, let's look at the whole S4HANA aspect. Okay, S4HANA has the different deployment options. Okay, one, the deployment option can be as a service or as a product. As a product means nothing but your ECC type of deployment. Like you will buy it as a product, you deploy in your own hardware or in your own hyperscaler. Okay, that means everything is like you buy the license, you install and implement, and everything you'll do in your which is under your full control. Another option is as a service, means it's more of a OpEx model where you just subscribe for the service and you start using it. Okay, using the services from the particular services that you have subscribed. So in the as a service model, we have two options. One is a public cloud and private cloud. So the public cloud is nothing but it's a multi-tenant S4HANA application. There's nothing but the infrastructure is not dedicated to you. The infrastructure is a shared infrastructure, and like company X might be using from the same infrastructure, Y also using the same, Z also using the same infrastructure. Okay, so the multi-tenant approach is the public cloud. So where the same infrastructure is getting used by multiple customers, but the tenancy boundaries are hardly drawn and secured, so that there won't be any data breach issues or the data visibility to other tenants. Okay, that was taken care by SAP. Okay, but the second option is private cloud. Private cloud also has two flavors. Okay, one is called the extended edition. Another one is a private edition. Extended edition is nothing but same like a public cloud, but with a single tenant. That means infrastructure is dedicated to you, but it works like a public cloud only. Like the features and everything is like a public cloud, but the infrastructure is dedicated for you. That means that's not shared by anyone. Whereas a private edition is nothing but it's more like the infrastructure is dedicated to you, and you have flexibilities like whatever the flexibility you are having in the on-premise, same flexibility you will get it in the private edition also. Okay, so now I'm comparing these editions, public and private and on-premise. Okay, so the public cloud is the problem with the public cloud is not like you cannot customize anything in this one, or you cannot modify anything in this one, because you just use it as a service. It's more like a SaaS platform. Okay, so where you just subscribe and there will be a configuration cockpit. That's again a Fiori app. You don't get any access to SPRO or anything there. You just go to configuration cockpit and maintain some configurations like company currency or the chart of accounts, etc. Few configurations you will maintain over there, and after that onboard your users and start using it. That's all. If you want to extend anything, you cannot do anything in the public cloud. You need to do through BTP using API integrations or the interfaces that SAP has provided as part of public cloud. And whereas extended edition, it's the same limitations. You cannot modify anything in the extended edition also. But only thing is you get a dedicated infrastructure, but remaining everything is like a public cloud service, public cloud solution only. Okay, the private edition is more like a on-premise edition only. You will get your dedicated infrastructure, and also you will get almost every flexibility like your on-premise edition. Okay, like you can customize your SAP, you access to your SAP S4, it's like SPRO, or you can access to SAP GUI, or you can do various things in it. Whatever you are doing in the on-premise, almost everything can be done in the private edition of RISE with SAP. Okay, so most of the customers who are using ECC and who customize the ECC a lot, then the private edition is the best fit for them compared to the public or the extended editions. Considering we already customized a lot in the system, so probably the private edition can only leverage those aspects. And another thing is like you can see that implementation aspects wise. So if you are already using ECC and you want to go to public cloud, you cannot migrate your ECC to public cloud. There is no any migration path available. Only thing is you need to net new implementation you need to perform in the public cloud, only load the master data and balances and start up there. Same with the extended edition also. Whereas in case of private cloud or the private edition, then you have a possibility that you can go for the net new implementation or the brownfield. Brownfield is nothing but you can convert your ECC system with the whole data, like lift and shift of your whole ECC into S4HANA is possible with the private edition. Like in short, if someone is willing to convert their existing ECC system to S4HANA by carrying the data and everything, then private edition is the only option available in RISE with SAP. That only can suffice your need. And on-premise edition, anyhow, we discussed, okay, but going forward, SAP is discontinuing the on-premise or the product-based license selling. Okay, there are only few cases they are selling, but not as in general. That is, SAP stopped that selling of on-premise license or as a product license selling. So it's required for that every customer need to plan their journey towards RISE with SAP. That's how the SAP planned their roadmap for the next 5 years or 10 years. So their whole customer base to be converted to RISE with SAP or to the cloud platform of SAP. Okay, so just this slide is highlighting what we have discussed only. Okay, so in case of public cloud, I said that no customizations are possible. So, and also infrastructure is like whatever SAP provides, we need to take it. There is no choice for the customer. Customer don't have any choice to choose their infrastructure. SAP just provide. SAP, it's not visible to the customer at all. So SAP is going to manage the infrastructure. And also you just use whatever is coming as part of it. In case of private cloud or the private editions, you have a choice like which hyperscaler you want to go with. Like you have a choice like you want to go with Azure or the AWS or the Google Cloud, Ali Cloud or the Cloud 4.6. So these 4-5, whatever are allowed for RISE with SAP, you have a choice to choose one of them, and in that SAP will roll out the systems or the infrastructure for you. And also customers own data center. It's a rare scenario for regulated industries like defense and all. They are giving this option, but not for the regular companies or the regular industries. They are not allowing to give any such on-premise or the own data center provisions currently. Okay, mainly for governmental or the defense areas, they are giving this option. Okay, in case of the private cloud, you have the option that it's like you'll get the process discovery or the process analysis tools. You can understand what is the process, what are the process deviations are there with respect to the best practices or the industry standards. You can plan the process re-engineering or the redesigning as part of the transformation journey. And also you'll get the readiness check or the custom code migration to utilities tools as part of this private cloud. You can use them for your ECC migration to S4HANA. Okay, and business technology platform, as we discussed, BTP credits you will get it, and also Ariba, the asset intelligence or the logistic network credits you are going to get. So in terms of the contractual aspect, in terms of private edition, considering the most of the Indian customers are falling under the private edition scenario, considering they are using extensively customizations in ECC. So I'm focusing on this particular slide. So for the private edition only. So here the contractual commercial construct point of view, if you look at this, ideally we use it to have 4 to 5 contracts. Every customer uses it to have it. You have one contract with your implementation or the partner, advisory partner, or the consulting partner, and the AMC partner, the support partner, there will be another contract, and the technical manager service, you will pay this contract to SAP or the someone who are doing that. Infrastructure partner, you will have one contract, or the software and support another contract, right? So when we move to RISE with SAP, so all those contracts will become hardly 2 to 3 contracts. Okay, so like software will be taken care by SAP because SAP is software, and infra also will be taken care by SAP. Infra, security and everything, governance and security will be covered by SAP, and technical manager services will be taken care by SAP. So all these 3 will be taken care by SAP in single under single one contract. Whereas your regular implementation or the rolling out some new tools or the new plant or anything, all those will happen through your implementation or the support partners. They will remain same. Like no change on your support or the implementation partner. Either that can be you or your partner going to do that. So to summarize it much better, okay, easy to understand manner, who is going to do what? Okay, who is going to perform the roles? For example, in case of the current scenario, the infrastructure will be taken care by the hardware provider or the customer or the hyperscaler, or the design and all this stuff will be done by the premium consulting and the different consulting partners use it to come. SLS will be different for each of these vendors, and security governance will be taken care by external security agency or the penetration test agencies or the are taken care by customer in-house. Like this, various partners are involved if you look at here. But by going to RISE with SAP, SAP is it's like almost everything will be covered by SAP. Okay. And only two things activities left out to the customer is like implementation of the new modules or anything, or the new developments, and the application support, like your day-to-day operational support in terms of using SAP, like your AMC partner or the support partner. These two will be with the customer or the system integrator. That's how the services can be divided. Hardly it's like a 2 or 3 contracts will come into the picture, and remaining everything will be taken care by SAP. Okay, so now I'm moving on. So by this time you are familiar with the different editions of S/4HANA RISE with SAP are available. Now I'm going with a little bit of comparison between these editions. Already we discussed, but I'm going to summarize a bit on that. Okay. So on-premise, it's like just a comparison, like on one-time capex with a 5 to 7 years of life. So you will invest once, and that's going to give the results for next 5 to 7 years. Okay, but there will be AMCs definitely involved. But other than that, you will own the hardware for next 5 to 7 years. The life of the hardware is for 5 to 7 years. But in this case, the drawback is like you need to maintain the data center on your own, and uptime or the downtime are in the hands of you or your partner, and lesser in cost. Okay, considering you already have an existing team to manage it, or even though if you go with the RISE with SAP, also the team might be there, then you may not see that ROI. Okay, so need to maintain multiple support contracts. We already discussed high manpower to manage infrastructure compared to other options. Private cloud is nothing but I'm talking about the hyperscaler here. Hyperscaler owned by you, not by SAP. Okay, so this is an OPEX model by the customer. Okay, that means you are hosting your services in AWS on your own without going to RISE with SAP contract. So in this case, again, you got a scalable infrastructure and the cloud stability and everything, those advantages you can take, and no DC maintenance and uptime of infra worries also won't be there, because the cloud provider or the hyperscaler will take care of their uptime, and lesser in manpower requirement in managing the infrastructure. But end of the day, again, here also the number of contracts are high, because you need to maintain one cloud contract. It's like cloud services management contractor or the partner, or the system it's like operating system level maintenance contract. You need to have it, and also you need to have the SAP contracts. SAP's product maintenance or the licenses contracts will be there separately. So again, there will be multiple contracts coming to the picture, even in case of the private cloud, by taking care of the customer. So, but the advantage over here is like you have the uptime availability is very good, and network stability would be good, and also the infrastructure would be easy to integrate with any other cloud-based solutions, considering everything is on the same cloud. So coming to RISE with SAP private cloud, so this everything will be taken care by SAP, and the contract will be only 2 contracts will come here compared to your one the private cloud managed by you or contracted by you. Public cloud, this part also we have already discussed. Okay, so I'm moving on with the more detailed comparison. Okay, that's why I skipped the earlier slide quickly. So this slide, if you look at it, we are trying to divide the functional scope, and we divide into the more different aspects. One is the functional, second one is the standardization and extendability, and these two aspects we divided the whole scope. Okay, so the functional scope in terms of application or the feature wise, or the what all it is going to support by each version. The any premise is nothing but that's on-premise or the hyperscaler edition of yours. Okay, that's like as a product model. RISE with SAP is as a service model. These 3. Okay, so in case of scope, okay, so in case of any premise, you will get the full product, and you will get the all industries supported in this one. All the industries of the 25 industries what SAP is supporting, all you will get it as part of on-premise or the hyperscaler. And also all line of business solutions or the add-ons are available for this one. No restrictions for that. Whereas coming to the private cloud edition, here also more like same as on-premise. I told you that private cloud edition is as good as like a on-premise. Flexibility is there with some limitations. Coming to the extended edition, single tenant edition or the extended edition or the multi-tenant edition, public cloud edition. So here you don't have much of the industry solutions available in this one. Okay, so there are limitations for the industry solutions, like you are using IS Oil or the IS Retailer. These type of things are not yet available or made available in the public cloud or the or in the extended editions. Okay, but and also you cannot modify anything here much. You just do the configurations as per the configuration cockpit that Fiori app they have provided, and you can start using it. Add-ons. Okay, so in case of on-premise or any premise, you can install any add-ons. Either it can be your add-on or your partner add-on or any vendor selling some add-ons in the market. You can deploy those add-ons without any restrictions. Whereas coming to the private cloud, those add-ons should be allowed by SAP or certified by SAP. Okay, those only will be allowed as part of the private cloud edition. So that means there is a restriction, like you want to buy some good add-on which is not certified or which is not yet verified by SAP, then there might be a restriction from SAP to deploy that particular add-on in your system. So you need to consider this, considering a lot of customers are using different add-ons nowadays. So this point to be verified carefully once. Okay, in case of public cloud or the technical edition, there are no third-party add-ons. Only the public cloud related add-ons available in the marketplace only allowed, like a plugins basically. Okay, so they only allowed. In case of industry support, I told you, right, any premise and the private edition support all industries, whereas coming to the public cloud or the extended edition, they support only specific set of industries like discrete manufacturing or the or energy and natural gas or the financial services, public services. These are the few industries, 5-6 industries only rolled out in the public cloud. So keep on, SAP is rolling out multiple industry solutions in the public cloud area as well, but it is going to take time. So coming to the standardization and extendability, okay. So in terms of standard configurations, okay, so here we can use our own SAP standard best practices templates, or you can also go with the additional line of business solutions, and you can do whatever the configuration the way you want it through SPR or the different T codes that are provided. Whereas in private edition also will get that flexibility, but whereas in case of public cloud or the single extended edition, there is no chance for that. You need to always follow the best practices only. You cannot deviate from that. That means you are restricted to follow what SAP has given as a best practice template. Extensibility, like any type of extensibility, you can do it as part of the on-prem editions. Like you can modify it, but it's not recommended, but you can modify it. SAP is recommending to go with the clean core approach going forward for S4HANA systems. But still, you are allowed to do your customizations or the enhancements within SAP. Or you can modifications also, you can do it, whatever you are doing in the on-premise systems currently in ECC. The same possible. Even in the private edition also, it is possible. The same way you can do it. But in case of public editions or the public cloud or the extended edition or the single tenant edition, no customizations are possible. You need to go with the side-by-side extensions. Side-by-side extensions are nothing but you develop a small utility in the BTP platform, and you can plug that with the your public cloud or the SAP ERP there. So from there you can just read the information. That means it works outside SAP. That works as an extra plugin or the extra tool outside your deployed SAP system. That's how it will go. And customizations, you will have the SPRO access and everything will be there, and you have the SAP GUI access also available in all these 3 editions. Whereas coming to these 2 editions, last 2 editions, you don't get any SPRO or the SAP GUI accesses. Here you only get the Fury access. That means you will get these 2 are purely web-based, web-enabled ERP. That means there won't be any GUI-based accesses are available for these 2. So coming to the implementation aspects, we already discussed this one. If you want to any premise, it's like for the public cloud, always it's a new implementation, but for the private edition, you can go with the migration or the new implementation. Any options are available. And coming to the software updates, this is another important thing. Okay, so software updates are it's like in case of on-premise or any premise where the environment is controlled by you. So here the upgrades are in your control. You can plan it as and when you want it. Suppose every 2 years you want it, you can plan like that. Every 3 years or 5 years, whatever way you want it. It depends on the support cycle of that particular version that you are using or the feature pack that you are using. Okay, whereas coming to the private edition, here also there is no mandate, but SAP recommends to go with the annually 1 upgrade or at least 1 upgrade in 5 years. Mandate is 5 years 1 upgrade, but recommendation is annually 1 upgrade. And another important thing is like upgrades are not part of RISE with SAP. SAP don't provide the free of cost upgrades. That's the additional cost line item for you. Suppose you want to do the upgrade by SAP, then SAP will charge for it and do it as an extra cost item. Whereas coming to the public cloud, that's part of your subscription fee only. So it's like quarterly upgrades will happen in the public cloud. Here 2 upgrades I have written, but it's changed. It's a quarterly upgrades. Every quarter you will see the new things happen in the public cloud. In case of single tenant edition, 2 upgrades per year, half yearly upgrades will be there. So those here the upgrades will be owned by SAP. The upgrades will happen automatically. That means without your intervention or without your approvals, the upgrades will take place. Okay, so that means any new changes are happening in SAP that will keep rollout in your system as well. So you can start using them. Okay, whereas in first three, like private edition, it's in your control again. Okay, so deployment of infrastructure, we already discussed, it's your choice. In case of private, public, it's not your choice. Okay, so licensing, this also we discussed, like all the RISE with SAP goes as a subscription model, whereas other one is goes like a perpetual license or the paper license model. As a product, you buy them. Infrastructure agreements, it's like you will have the agreement with the IaaS provider here in all these three cases, like SAP is going to take care of this agreement. Whereas in case of your any premise, this individual agreements you are having with your hyperscaler or with your hardware provider or the co-location providers. Okay. So also support, okay. SAP support will be remain same in both the places. Okay, so it's in case of private edition or the on-premise. And in the case of the public cloud, also it goes more like in the similar manner. You use your marketplace or the launchpad of the SAP Me to raise your tickets, and from there the support SAP will provide the support. But for the infra level issues, they categorize in different SLAs. So the response for the infra level issues or the showstopper issues, there will be a faster response within 1 hour or 2 hours or something like that, so that your business won't be affected. Okay, so that's a brief introduction about RISE with SAP. So considering we are in the last 15 minutes of the webinar, so I would like to open up the Q&A session now. So you can use the chat window to type your queries, so that from there you can convey your messages or the questions, so that I will try to answer as much as possible. And also I would like to highlight that there are upcoming webinars in the next week and next 3 weeks on the topic of RISE with SAP only, mainly on the licensing aspects. It's more important thing because there's a big change in the licensing aspects that I would like to deep dive into it, and how you can measure your licensing in terms of ECC to S4HANA RISE. So, and you need to understand the factors or conversion factors, or how you can exactly convert the current license package to the RISE with SAP license package. How much does it cost, etc. That will be covered as part of this. And sizing and infrastructure planning also I will provide, because it goes in the T-shirt model. So typically it will go in the T-shirt model, but so what are the different T-shirt models provided by SAP, and how it's like what are considered as part of it, which one best fit for you can be discussed as part of that. And indirect access license, considering you are going with the RISE with SAP as a bundled package of SAP, any API integrations or the real-time integrations with the cloud applications or anything, that definitely attract indirect access licenses from SAP for the leveraging the third-party application to access your SAP and create documents within SAP. There are various categories of indirect access licenses are there. We'll discuss more on the topic on 2nd of August. So there's a few upcoming webinars from our side. So please go ahead with your queries. Please post them in the chat window, so that I will try to address as much as possible.
Thank you, Mr. Kumar. Kumar, we have few questions. So there's a question is SAP Ariba 2000 documents are bundled with RISE with SAP, free of cost?
Right. That's free of cost, bundled with RISE with SAP. You're right.
There's another question.
There is no any additional cost. That is going to be part of your RISE with SAP subscription cost included.
Great. So there's another question. How will the moving into cloud will be cost effective? Is vertical scalability of cloud is available?
Yes, the cloud itself, it's like here we are talking about the hyperscalers. If we are talking about a cloud, means hyperscaler like AWS, Azure, or the Google Cloud. All those are the vertical scalable as well as horizontal scalability is there. Okay, but as part of the contract, it's like the contract in the sense the subscription upgrades required to be performed before doing the scalability activity. We need to raise a request to SAP, so that they will increase the infrastructure, and they will again send the revised contract. And from then onwards, the subscription cost will be changed as per the scalability option we have opted. The another important thing we need to understand over here is like the private hyperscaler versus the RISE with SAP hyperscaler. In the private hyperscaler means your own hyperscaler, you are managing your AWS account or the Azure account. There, the scale up and scale down is in your hands. You can do it by your admin team or AWS partner or the cloud partner. Okay, so scale up and down both are possible. For example, month end I want to raise it up, I can raise it up, and after a month end, then the load will be less. You can want to down, you can down it, or you want to add another extra application server instance during the month ends to handle the number of user sessions, that you can do it. But whereas with the RISE with SAP, only the upward journey will happen. That means if you added extra thing, that will continue further. You cannot downgrade that. The only upgrade can happen, but cannot be a downgrade. That's the one thing you need to understand. That's the one key difference compared to the your managed cloud versus RISE with SAP cloud. Hope I answered the query.
Great. So what about the license part from existing ACC to as a product with S4HANA?
Yes. the license, there is a conversion mechanism is available, so that SAP account manager is going to work out on that and provide it. But in the next webinar, I'm going to cover more details on that one, because you have the different licensing options, different licensing user licensing types are there in the ECC, like your worker license, professional user, or the developer user. Different things are there, right? So all those will be converted to the a single license called FUE. Okay. So full usage equivalent, that is called FUE licensing type, it will convert. So you just deal with one measure for license, that is FUE. Okay. So how to convert to FUE, that I am going to discuss more in the next webinar. If all required, we can discuss one-on-one also if someone is interested before that webinar. So we are open to discuss on that.
So how much does RISE with SAP cost?
That it's hard to say, Mahesh. Okay, so the RISE with SAP cost varies from customer to customer. Different scenarios are involved in that one, because as I said, the conversion metric is FUE. So it's like there is no any just a simple multiplication factor is not possible for the RISE with SAP cost. It involves your infra sizing, it involves your user licensing conversion aspects requirement, because the infra and FUE are interlinked again. Suppose the t-shirt model I told you, right? So based on the size, suppose your t-shirt model is infra size is XXS, okay, extra small. In that case, it can cater up to 135 FUE only. So if your user licensing conversion is coming more than 135 FUE, then you need to go with the next infra. Even the infra size is less required, but forcefully you need to go with the next level infra only, like XS. So various factors come into it. So by evaluating all those things in detail, then only we can come up with the exact cost metric for this one. So it's not that easy to say you just need 1 crore or 2 crores or 3 crores. It's not that easy. We need to work along with SAP account manager together, and then we can come to some good number.
So
and SAP is giving a it's like competitive pricing as well for the RISE with SAP nowadays, considering they are promoting it a lot. So it's like you can compare with your current total cost versus RISE with cost, and then you can negotiate with SAP as well.
Great. So how do I get started with RISE with SAP?
It's like either you can start off with your support partner or the RISE with SAP, whoever is expertise in that area. You can invite that partner to start that journey, so they can involve the SAP account manager. It's like end of the day, without SAP account manager, this won't happen. So your SAP account manager should involve along with your partner, and both should work it out together and factor it out, the cost and the infrastructure sizing and the license conversions and everything. Then the next step is going to be the execution once these are finalized.
So what are the free offerings bundled with RISE with SAP?
Sorry, Mahesh, can you please come again?
What are the free offerings bundled with RISE with SAP?
Yeah, that part I already mentioned in one of the slides. Okay, so as I said, that the bundles are like BTP credits they are giving. So just remember, whole BTP is not free. BTP is a set of 85 to 90 services from SAP, tools I can say, are the services from SAP, like integration suite or the build tool or the RPA tool, robotic process automation tool, or the Signavio business process intelligence. Various tools are there in that particular BTP. And the build tool is there, design tool is there. So you can use those tools. Each tool will have its own cost based on the size of the, because again, it will consume the infrastructure, right? So based on the size of the infrastructure, you are going to plan for that particular BTP utility that you are building. Based on that, the credits will be consumed. So it's typically for private edition, because most of the customers are falls under private edition category. So that it is going to be around 4,000 credits. You are going to be free up to 16,000 credits, depends on the size of your contract. Okay, but 4,000 definitely you are going to get it. So you can utilize those credits to use the BTP. And also business networks with some limitations, they are giving the complementary offering. Okay, there's the Ariba networks or the asset management aspects or the asset intelligence aspects. Okay, and logistics part of like cash discounting process with your suppliers and all can be managed, but it has its own number counts, like number of partners or the number of document limitations are there in the free offering.
So there's another question. My SAP systems are ready on Microsoft Azure. Is RISE with SAP beneficial to me? What will happen to my current hyperscale licenses, systems, etc.?
Got it. So it's a good question, in fact. Okay, so even I came across this question when I visited many customers. Okay, because they are in AWS or Azure already. So I'm already on cloud. So what is the need to go for RISE with SAP? Okay, that's a good question. So in case of RISE with SAP, they are giving a lot of ready-made solutions or the cloud solution, cloud flavor of SAP available, and ready-made connectors are made available for integration with the other cloud-based solutions of SAP like SAC or all these solutions available. Ariba, all these things are ready to connect. Okay. So whereas you are with your own deployment in Azure or AWS, these things are not available. You need to plan your integrations using HCI or some other CPI or some other mechanism. Okay. So all these things you need to build separately. So that's the one difference I can say. And if you really want to convert from Azure to RISE with SAP, you can very well do that. But there is no guarantee that you will get the same rate contract or the advantage. It's like whatever the contract you have with Azure, that won't be respected with RISE with SAP. There's a fresh contract to be made. So that also one factor you need to evaluate and discuss well with the SAP account manager. What benefit they are going to provide, considering you are going to lose money by breaking that contract or already existing contract with SAP. Okay, or they might come up with some sort of a conversion factor in the coming days. Okay, so currently it's like you need to start fresh with the RISE with SAP, even though you are on the cloud.
Oh, great.
Like it's like in short, it's like one migration you are going to do it.
Okay.
Migration, not S4, just it's like lifting your system from here to the RISE with SAP cloud.
We have another question. Is DR included in the regular RISE with SAP package?
Yeah, that's another good topic. Okay, so it's like in the regular contract of RISE with SAP, you don't get the DR or HA aspects. All those are additional or the optional line items. Okay, so you can ask for those things. They will include with the additional cost, so that the subscription cost will be revised based on your exact DR requirements or the HA requirements. Even additional application servers also won't come into that by default. There are some in t-shirt models, some application servers will be included, but if that is not sufficient enough for you, then you need to request for the more, then that will be added as a separate cost line item for you, or the contract will be defined, it's like value will be redefined based on the additions that you are doing.
Okay. So there's a last question again. Are upgrades free in RISE with SAP?
Sorry, I didn't get you, Mahesh. Can you please come again?
Are any upgrades free in RISE with SAP?
Free in public cloud. Okay, but as I said, public cloud is a managed application by SAP. There you cannot do any changes or modification. The code will be owned by SAP or the controlled by SAP, right? So in the public cloud, the upgrades are automatic, like the edition public cloud edition or the single tenant extended edition. These two upgrades will be taken care by SAP automatically. Whereas private cloud edition, the upgrades are not free. It's a separate line item. So you can add as part of your contract, or you can get it done with your partners also.
Okay, these are the questions actually.
Okay.
Is it? There's another question only. Is it required DR in RISE?
Sorry, I didn't get you, Mahesh. Can you please come again?
Is it required DR in RISE? I mean,
DR in RISE. Okay. Typically, it's like considering the entire infrastructure is getting managed by SAP, we are safe. Okay. So because the backup strategy, everything will be taken care over there. So I can say that we are very safe. But considering your RPO, RTO requirements are in terms of the sensitivity of your business, you can plan the DR also. It depends on your IT policies. But typically, it's not required if it is a simple and the straightforward business. Because your backups will be there and log backups will happen. So hardly you may lose the data of 15 minutes or 20 minutes in case something goes wrong.
Okay.
Okay.
Ali, as I see, like this was the last question raised.
Please. Okay. So we have 1 more minute. If there are any more questions, okay, now we are open to address them.
Yeah.
I think I'm into the chat or the Q&A section. I can see. Let me see. Yeah, I think there is one question. Will you share this presentation? Definitely, we can share. We can share this recorded webinar also to you. Post to this webinar so that you can refer to it later if at all required. And what is there is one question related to free of cost. I'm not sure what. Okay, that's Ariba related question.
Yeah, it's addressed that.
I think I addressed it. Okay, that's up to 2,000 documents. That's a complimentarily added in the bundle. Okay, so I think we are we are done with the time as well, webinar time as well. Okay. So hope all of you enjoyed enjoyed the session and you got some good takeaways from this session. Okay, so I wish you to attend my future webinars as well, so that I'm more than happy to share my knowledge or answer your queries as much as possible. So every week we are going to have, every Wednesday 3:30 is a Rise with SAP sessions for the next 3 months we are conducting. So please feel free to join our webinars. We keep send emails to you with the updates or the event notifications. Thank you once again all. Have a nice day. Have a nice evening. Bye-bye.